What's up, Astrals? It's the Blue King. Uh, Welcome to Late Night Chats with the Blue King. Nah, I'm just kidding. It's the Ask the Sky Studios podcast, and today we're gonna be taking on another title. This time we're gonna be doing with My Hero Academia. Looks like I'm gonna be tackling this one solo, but without further ado, let's get straight into it. So really, what I'm gonna be talking about is season 3 of My Hero Academia, and let me just say this season, if I must say, is probably the best. Season 2 was pretty good, especially with the iconic tournament arc that they had. But season 3 really made me hyped about the show. And watching last week's actually it was yesterday's episode. Watching yesterday's episode made me kind of sad that that was the last episode of the season. If you haven't watched the season, maybe because you want to binge watch it, or maybe because who actually haven't watched the show, you should get on that. So for those of you who might not know what My Hero Academia is, which I don't know why you wouldn't, it's like basically the new Naruto. Uh, it's about basically this kid who was born in a world of superheroes where people have powers called quirks. Quirks are a special type of powers that either come through, I would say, birth and have either effect on your appearance or abilities that you can do. So some people have quirks like half hot, half cold, where they can make freeze things one side and burn things the other. They can have tape come out of their arms. They're either born like a toad or some alligator, stuff like that. Like quirks are very varied in the show. That's very interesting to see, and it's a very good universe to take your mind off things, see some imagination, and it's a very new addition to the superhero genre, genre, whatever you want to say, of superheroes. Not many animes I've watched have to deal with superheroes. Actually, this is probably like the first one that I've seen that really has to deal with superheroes and things like that. So it's a very refreshing anime to watch, other than, battle anime, things like that. So to further ado, let me just get into season 4 and really just gonna go through a whole type of synopsis of what the season was about. I'm not really gonna go into details about it. I want you guys to watch that season for yourself. Don't really want to spoil anything, but it's really important to the story, as this is where really I would say the plot is really starting to take off. Now, the main character, his name is Midoriya, or people call him Deku. Like I said, he was born in a world of people without quirks. Well, people with quirks, and he himself had no quirk. The thing is, he wanted to become a superhero. And through his whole life, people said he probably wouldn't do it because he didn't have a quirk. And without a quirk, he can't be a superhero because, if he goes outside, he's going to get demolished. But luckily for him, his favorite hero, All Might, which is ironically the number one hero in the world, which everyone admires, not just him, came to his town to search for a successor. And long story short, Midoriya proved himself to him, and All Might shared a secret with him that All Might himself did not have a quirk when he was born, but his, what do you call it? His mentor or predecessor gave him the power that he now uses to save everyone. So he chose Midoriya to be his successor. So he gave Midoriya a quirk called One for All. One for All is basically this OP quirk that can be passed down to people. All you need to do is be given a piece of the DNA willingly, and then you'll become the next Superman. Basically, All Might can literally make it rain with a punch. So that's how OP the quirk can be. So Midoriya gains the quirk and now can really, that's where the series picks up. He's just trying to master his quirk and become the best hero he wants to be. Along the way, he makes friends. It's a school anime type thing where they're in school learning how to deal with their powers. And you have the iconic best friend. You have the childhood friend who he grew up with, yeah, which is also his rival. You got the prodigy type student who is also his rival, but also you have another one who is recommended as a top student, which is in Todoroki. He has the power I told you, half hot, half cold, where his father is actually the number two hero in the world. So you know there's that pressure for him as well to become the number one hero from his father. Then you have the love interest, who is a show in the anime. She's not really that a top tier power. She can make zero gravity, so it's pretty interesting. Then you got the stickler class president. You got those generic pervert anime characters. You got the regular teens, and then you got the regular cast who they try to make look important, but the trash compared to the main characters. So this season really dealt with them becoming their own superheroes, or them taking us another step closer to become pro heroes, as you call it in the show, so that they could better protect themselves from villains. Because now villains are starting to take form, starting to band together to take down society as a whole and cause havoc. So in season 1, season 2, all that, they already been attacked like multiple times. So this season, the heroes of UA are just like, you know what, you guys need to start protecting yourself. And since you guys aren't allowed to use your powers by yourself, we're going to train you so that eventually you guys will be able to get these license where you can use your power without supervision in cases of emergency. So they did training. They went to a training camp, and they got attacked there. Surprise, surprise. And to make it worse, Deku's best friend got captured. Well, I would say best friend, but they're not really best friends. It's just childhood friend got captured. But the thing about it is Deku idolizes that person, so I would say he's the best friend, but he's not really. He's just a childhood friend. But yeah, his childhood friends get captured. Deku goes depression, talking about I couldn't save him, blah blah blah. And things happen. Now we're gonna be moving along. After that, more things happen. And we're back into them being in class training, and then they get to learn the special moves. Now the thing about Deku is he's trying to master his quirk. He masters his quirk, he messes up his arms. He literally, every major fight Deku does, he usually messes up his arms, and that's a big problem for him to use it. It happened in season 2 in the sports festival, or the tournament arc. He messed up his arms, and the thing about the tournament was that was supposed to be like showcase of their powers, so that they can get sponsors, get people to train them, things like that. And people were like, no, they don't. They don't want a kid who self-destructs, even though the Dory is smart and very strategic with his quirk. He's kind of reckless, and he basically he jacked up his arm. So during when they were attacked the last time, he did the exact same thing, and he jacked up his arm. So now they're trying to practice more, and he realized to himself that he needs to find a way to not jack up his arm every time he fights, because if he jacks up his arm in a major fight and if another enemy comes at him, then he's going to be screwed basically. So during all that time, Deku decides to switch up his fighting style so there's not much pressure on his arm, and he calls it a shoot style. The shoot style is him just kicking everywhere. It's I best basically Sanji right now. That's something that he's been working on. Blah blah blah. Move ahead, and we're at the provisional exams. He has a special power. It's not even a special move. Shoot style. Like everyone had some special move. Bakugo had this thing where he concentrates a little bead from his hand and shoots it out. Everyone had these special moves coming out, and Deku just came with a new fighting style. So I don't really think that counts as a special move. That's kind of cheating, or taking shortcuts, laziness from the writers, but whatever. It worked. They did the provisional exam where they got tested. They basically did the hunter exam to get their hunter's license, but they call it provisional license here. But the provisional license are all the heroes or aspiring hunters. They they all came together and did the exam. And the exam started, and surprise, surprise, all the schools started attacking UAH because UAH, like I said, they had a tournament, but the tournament was nationally televised, so everyone knew their quirks and tendencies and things like that. So they attacked them first so that they can knock them out the tournament, and so the other schools have a better chance of winning. Thing is, UAH has been attacked multiple times, the training stuff like that. So this was kind of a way. The first episode of the why I keep saying tournament. The first episode of the professional license exam was just showing us how much they've grown as students, and that was pretty interesting. So they went to the next episodes. They passed the first round. Not really gonna tell you guys much about the things. You gotta watch it yourself. Go to the second round, and basically second round, everyone from the school made it. So that's great. Now this is where things really start hitting the fan, because then this is where they had a practical application of saving people. Lots of people got points off. It's long story short, not everyone passed this time, and people have learned valuable lessons about being heroes. Blah blah blah. Then we go back to school. Oh, one point thing that I forgot to mention. After the last attack, um, the school decided, after the public started basically getting on everyone's case about, oh, what are heroes doing? Oh, what is happening? Look at all these villains. They're so inadequate. They can't do anything. Blah blah blah. Listen, the heroes are just out here saving your butts. The heroes are just out here providing you guys with a safe piece of living. Oh, so all of a sudden when villains start attacking innocent students and things like that, yeah, I guess it's school, but still, come on. There's only so much you can do. Yo, public is so ungrateful. And yo, this is really like the civilian. You do something for someone, and then all of a sudden, when something bad happens, they're no longer on your side. These guys are so flops, man. They're flakes. Like, you can't depend on citizens at all. But yeah, now after the last attack, they switched to a dorming system. So now that all the students live in one dorm according to class, so boys and girls stay in the same space. So after the provisional exam, they went back to the dorms, and Deku and his childhood friend have a disagreement, and they have a fight. So they had a whole episode of a fight, and after that, went to class. After they got caught, they went to class afterwards, and then they met the top 3 students of the academy, and they fought the number 1 student at the academy, and the whole class got mollywopped. And that's was the last episode, basically. Uh, what I really enjoyed about this season, now that I give you guys like a nutshell type of thing, uh, this season was really great. I really enjoyed it, and especially since the movie was kind of alluded to because they had a whole filler episode in it. They even a filler episode to incorporate the Two Heroes movie that recently came out in theaters, which you should see. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm going to see it next week. It's a very interesting movie that I think is going to be really good. It actually broke box office records, and lots of people are going to see it. So that's something I definitely gotta watch. But this season was really interesting, and I really liked it. It was just a whole type of, I would say, like a growth arc for the students. Like each season in itself is showing them progress, but this one was really focused on them just getting steps closer to becoming the heroes that they want to be. They did the internships afterward. They did the internships last season, and now they're really applying what they learned to this season. Now they're really figuring out what they need to do. And after a certain major event that happened in this season, they really feel the pressure that there's a new society of heroes that are going to form, that they're going to be a part of, and they need to be leading the way as a part of the top school in the nation. And now, especially Deku, because All Might has more switched over to a teaching role, Deku really feels the pressure that now he is going to be taking on the shoes of All Might and leading his class and the generation of heroes into the new era. So it's really a good season to really see where the characters are, what they need to do. And if I was going to rank it, I would probably say this is the best season in my opinion. And I couldn't really, I don't know. I mean, the tournament arc was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, but this season really got me hyped, and I really like the other seasons. Was like, okay, it was a cliffhanger. No, not cliffhanger. It was it was a cliffhanger. The cliffhanger from last season where you had to wait for season 3 wasn't so bad, but the season 4 now I'm just hyped for next season, and I can't really hold it back. And I know that this might not be the type of anime you guys want to watch because this lots of people don't know that this is not really a battle anime. Like the way My Hero Academia shows it, it's more about ideologies and how they face off each other against each other. You have the heroes, you have the villains, and each hero and villain have a different way of thinking. Look at the person for All for One, who has been introduced in this season as well. All for One is basically the anti quirk of One for All. The person for All for One, the one who made All for, the one who has All for One actually, gave made One for All. The story of that is he had a brother, and his brother had no quirk, and to mock his brother, I think I don't remember the specifics of why he gave his brother a quirk. Basically, All for One forced a quirk onto his brother, and the person from One for All, his brother who had no quirk, actually did have a quirk that was actually the power to what to what is it? Give people quirks? Yeah, he had the power to give people quirks. I think we went over this last thing, but yeah, he had people to give people quirk, and his brother gave him that quirk to stockpile power. So those two combined for One for All, and so on and so on. All for One is a jerk, but yeah. Oh, my mic is still working. That's great. Uh, y'all watching me, bro. Y'all watching me. I like it. Let me check those comments real quick. Let me see what you guys are saying. But yeah, All for One is a jerk, and just like he low key raped his brother. Like I'm not gonna he cork raped his brother. So All for One somehow survived for all them years. I don't know how, but he's in a wheelchair now apparently. And One for All fought each other. Oh, it's just guitar, bruh. Yes, you will watch it pirated like everything you do. No, I'm not gonna watch the. I'm not gonna watch it pirated, bro. I'm going to the movies next week. Yo, son, I'm tired of you. I'm gonna ban you, bro. I'm tired of it, bro. I'm gonna ban you. All right, I'm tired. I'm tired of it. You keep hopping in conversations that you have no type of information on. All right, so I'm gonna need you to stop. All right, this movie is too important to be pirated. I'm going to go watch it. This movie is lit. But back to what I was saying. So yeah, All for One and One for All had a fight, and their ideologies are completely different. But they're both predecessors to a new era of heroes and villains, and they're both trying to pass on those ideologies to their students. And so One has one of destruction, one has one of saving people. And the thing about this show is that ideologies aren't just shown. They're shown through fights, like great animation, great music, great fight scenes. It's just like this anime is not about fights. It's about the ideologies facing off against each other. And I think this show does that really well. Like many people, that's why the fight scenes are so short, and the lead up and build up to them is so long. It's because that this is really what the show's about. It's not about people bashing each other's head in, people just destroying things, having crazy power ups like Dragon Ball Z. They'd be staring off at each other, powering up, going to a new form. Naruto throwing new jutsus out of the way, what's the other one, Bleach, talking about spiritual pressure bull crap. But it's a great show if you really care about what the characters are thinking, getting a feel for what they believe in. And this show does a great job of showing those ideology be presented into themselves. Like if you listen to the type of speeches they be doing, like that, the All Might versus One for All thing was very emotional. Like even if you look at it, like I me and my friends were watching it, and yo, like legit, sometimes you might have felt like you wanted to cry. Like it was crazy. Like that, the thing All Might was saying, like it's like you felt it in your heart, and that was a great show to watch. And I can't wait for next season. But since I'm checking this by myself, there's a lot of things I don't really know what you guys are thinking. So if you guys want to leave something in the comments for me to answer, or any comments you want to leave about the show, you just leave in the comments. But I don't want to make this too long. I don't want to be rambling either. But season 3, in my opinion, top 10 anime. Would watch again. 10 out of 10. It's like the spiritual successor of Naruto, if you want to say it. Like we got Boruto and we got My Hero Academia. My Hero Academia is the illegitimate son of Naruto, in my opinion. It's the new top anime. Well, not top, but it's one of the big threes of this new generation of anime coming out. And Boruto is the real son who everyone had expectations for, and he disappointed his father. Just like in the real show, we have Naruto and Boruto. Boruto, trash. Like he's trash, bro. We had Naruto from the jump. He was lit. He's trash, but he was lit. Like he was a good type of trash. Now Boruto, he knows everything. He's a prodigy, but he's still trash. I don't understand. Midoriya, he was trash at the beginning, and now he's becoming lit, just like Naruto. So you can see where I'm going. My Hero Academia is the new Naruto, not Boruto. Boruto is not the new Naruto. It's just it pales in comparison to both shows, and it's trying to be something it'll never be. But I would just tell you guys, if you haven't watched it, watch it. Season 4, it was a pretty good season to watch. The whole thing was good. Like the whole anime is good. Watch it subbed, watch it dubbed, whatever you want to do. The dubbed is not that bad, even though I prefer the sub in this case because Midoriya's voice is kind of weird. But they have the English dub actor is pretty a famous one that people really like for All Might, so lots of people like it. But without further ado, I know this is kind of rambling on. I'm trying to get used to speaking by myself. I tackled this one by myself at once. It's not really much banter going on. Just talking about the show. Probably rambled on, but hopefully I can get better. I'm gonna start writing more scripts for this type of stuff so that I can just go through it without losing my train of thought. But without further ado, I'll catch you guys later.